Hey Studs, it's your pop culture stud. I'm the guy for all of your East Asian delights. I'm going to be doing my Japanese corner number 2. Today I'm going to be talking about the 1962 Chambara or sword fighting film and Jidaigeki period drama film Harakiri or Seppuku. Now, this is a 1962 film directed by Masaki Kobayashi. And what I love most about the Masters of Cinema series collection by Eureka is the fact that it's always done beautifully. You know, the layout of the front cover draws you in immediately, as well as the back cover. Now, the only gripe I have is, even though it has a couple of special features, it doesn't have a booklet inside, unfortunately. That's my only gripe. Now, I've just talked about the Blu-ray itself, so let me delve into the film. So, Harakiri or Seppuku is a form of ritualistic disembowelment that was very famous in Japan. The person or persons would usually wear a ceremonial white robe, and they would go on their knees and have a Japanese kanto dagger, and they would disembowel themselves from right to left. Usually they would hit an artery, which would cause immediate death and blood loss, or that would be very agonizing with their bowels all over them. That's why they employed a second. They would have a skilled samurai from behind to behead them, to give them a clean behead when they knew that the ritualistic disembowelment was performed. So that's what Harakiri, the film, is about. So one of my favorite actors of all time, and I'm telling you, he is one of the greatest Japanese actors of all time, Tetsuya Nakadai, who starred in a lot of period dramas of the 60s and the 50s. He's most famous for being in Yojimbo, I believe, or Sanjuro, the Toshiro Mifune, kind of like a spaghetti western Japanese homage to Sergio Leone, which in my opinion is one of the best sequel films of all time, like two of the most perfect films. Anyway, Harakiri is about a man named Ryonosuke. He is sadly poor, as well as his family is poor, because he used to be a very powerful guy in the samurai hierarchy. But unfortunately, due to the peaceful times of the shogunate, he has become poor. So he and his family are downtrodden. And unfortunately, he falls on hard times. So at the start of the film, he goes and he sees the lord of this like little castle, excuse me, and he says, I want to perform ritualistic suicide in your court. And the film has a lot of flashbacks about his life, from wealth to poverty. And you see how easy it is for a man that's high up in the samurai totem pole to fall so low, how easy it is. The film has a lot of twists and turns, and I love how it's an anti-honor film. So in the 60s, they started experimenting with the anti-honor films, which is basically like you see behind the honor of the samurai, that there was a lot of evil samurai there that was profiting off the misery of people and doing a lot of questionable misdeeds that would be considered dishonorable. Basically, they were working like Yakuza, basically Japanese gangsters that would benefit off the misery of the people. And Ryonosuke is an older man. He has a daughter. The daughter marries this samurai, and unfortunately, as the film progresses, you see all the bad stuff that happens to them, and it breaks my heart. And I'm not going to ruin it, but there's a very, very big twist with Ryonosuke's son-in-law that blew my mind. and the fact that he lost everything. The swordplay is incredible, and the choreography is exceptional. Like, honestly, the sword fight choreography is like, and you also have like arrows flying and stuff like that. Oh, it's amazing. That's what I love about Japanese cinema. When they do a lot of action, it's very kinetic, very crazy. Because the end of the film has a very big sword fight that lasts for about 10 minutes. That blew my mind. What I love about these Japanese films as well is the fact that we see into a culture that we, the Western audience, don't always see. And the fact that they have all of these traditions and all of these superstitions and beautiful ways of doing simplistic things, it always blows my mind to see films of this nature. Now, Eureka's done a fine job. There's no parts of the film that have any like really bad jumps or tears from the copy. It's actually amazing. And one thing I love about Eureka is every film they do is very, very out of this world, you know. They put a lot of painstaking attention to the restoration of each film. Usually they work with the company that they're doing it with, which is amazing. I love film restoration more than anything. Anyway, I'm rambling on again. But anyway, the end of the film has Rinosuke sword fighting, you know, and killing as a lot of people. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I did shed a tear for Rinosuke's plight. Because you see honor in books, you see honor in films and television, and you read about it, you see it, but you don't see honor that much these days. So seeing a film in like the Edo period in the 1600s where honor was everything to these Japanese guys, you know, they were samurai, honor was everything. They lived and they died with honor. And social hierarchy, like if you did anything to go against these, you would be killed instantaneously. And that's what I love. Rinosuke is one of the last honorable men in a society where honor no longer flourishes. And seeing his journey from being, you know, one of the heads of one of the biggest retainers in the country to being basically a peasant broke my heart, as I said earlier. So one thing I love about this guy, Kobayashi, the director, is all of his films so far that I've seen have been treasures. I know people say hidden gems, but a lot of people know about this film. But the one thing I can say about Harakiri or Seppuku is it's one of the most brutal films of all time, you know, because I'm not going to ruin it, but one of the twists of the film is absolutely brutal. And that's what I love. I love a good plot that doesn't shy away from violence, blood and gore, but it has to be justified. I think these days, people tend to just throw blood and gore into a film and into a series just for the sake of it. But I think it's most impactful when they use blood and gore and violence to push the story further and show the brutality of that era. Because even though it was the 1600s, yeah, I mean, I would love to have been born then so I could actually visit Edo, Japan. But one thing I will say is, behind closed doors, every country has a brutal society. And that's what it shows, you know, that honor no longer matters in Harakiri. Because that film, and I mean this 110%, has one of the greatest cinematic fights of all time. I know I mentioned it like literally 10 seconds ago about the choreographed samurai sword fights, but I'm telling you, when the katanas hit, when you see them swipe, and you know, when you see them die, it is brutal. It is brutal. And I was really in shock and numb at the brutality of it, which I think plays into the story of Harakiri. Because Harakiri is a film about honor and about society being honorless, the plot drives that home immensely. It's a plot that's like a roller coaster. It has its ups, it has its downs, and oh my god, I felt so many emotions throughout this film. And it's a testament to director Kobayashi that the film blew me away, you know, and it showed that the samurai isn't as honorful as we once saw. And I loved the cinematography. The cinematography was incredible. Like there's some scenes that blew my mind, especially as I mentioned, the fight choreography. I also loved the fact that the head of the clan would pray and bow and talk to the armor, the suit of armor, who we believe to be a god. I thought that was incredible. And I thought the acting was exceptional because Nakadai is one of the best actors of all time. He was unrecognizable as Rinosuke. His beard, grey hair, I didn't even know it was him. One thing I love about Nakadai's acting is he could make you feel so much emotion with the littlest gesture of his face and with his body language, and my heart broke for him. When the realization of the twist came and the tears that came in his eyes, oh my god, I was in awe and I was emotional. And the ending, oh my god, because seppuku, ritualistic disembowelment, I would never have the conviction to do it. I would never open my bowels to ritualistically die because I've lost honor, because I'm poor or anything, you know. I couldn't do anything of that nature because I don't have the conviction. I don't want to do it. I love life. But these men, the one thing you have to realize with these men, honor was everything. Honor in that society was everything. And if you don't have a job and you're poor and you lose your family, you're going to want to die. But they say they're going to go to hell if they kill themselves. But they still open up their stomach and die. That is honorful. They'll go to heaven that way. And that's what fascinates me about other cultures and about how they reason with laws and suicide and death. It just always intrigues me, you know, because in the Japanese society, they used to have Buddhism as well as Shinto shrine gods who they would pray to. Yokai, meaning like supernatural creatures in Japan. So I always find it fascinating that you have films of this nature that actually talk about subjects that a lot of Western audiences do. And that's what I love about Harakiri. It deconstructs what a samurai is and encapsulates what honor is, and shows you that regardless of societal status, a person can still be evil, or a person can still be good if they're poor or if they're rich. And it's one of the greatest films of all time. I gave it 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. It's a perfect film. And it's one of those films I recommend to go in with a clear, happy head. Because if you feel depressed or sad, it is a very weighty and heavy film. It really takes you on a roller coaster of emotions, as I mentioned. Wow, this video is 14 minutes long. Right, I'm going to stop there. I hope this was a better video, guys. Thank you for your likes, your comments, and your subscriptions. Thank you for commenting. Everything you say and do makes me a better YouTuber, and any recommendations you have, please comment down below. I don't just watch Japanese films, I watch South Korean, Chinese, I watch Filipino films. I mean, I watch some Western, you know, like British, American films. I don't like modern day British and American films much. So please bear that in mind. Thank you for watching this 15-minute video. Thank you guys. Later, Stats.